This is Friday, the 17th of February. Hopefully, you had a good week of trading this week and a good day today so far. Starting out with the S&P 500, again, we're going to review the basic trend of the market, and then we're going to delve into the bears and bulls watch list as we've been doing all this week. And so, our first off, we're going to look at the 2-hour Heikin-Ashi fractal line, which is based on this highest high Heikin-Ashi candle right in here. And I'm going to leave that line as it is. I'm also leaving the daily line as it is because that's still intact, even though this is an inside candle day today so far, as you can see. Our 3-day line stays the same also. So even though we've had a little bit of pullback today, not much of one, overall yellow, green, blue means we're still in a very strong bull trend, and therefore that should be the emphasis of trading in my opinion. That said, as I mentioned earlier this week, every day there are still stocks that are qualified as bears because just because the overall market is going up does not mean all stocks are going up. We can also look at sector maps in terms of areas that are a little bit weaker than others. Consumer cyclical stocks since the beginning of January have been overall weaker. Also, energy sector pretty well represented here, as you can see. Some of these I've been talking about several days this week. Sabre, even though it's in the technology sector, which is a bullish sector at the moment, that particular stock continues to push down. Other ones that I think I've mentioned this week are Trip and H&R Block and Hain, all of which are still very bearish, as you can see. On the bull watch side, I think we should focus on that primarily. So once again, we start out by looking at the sector map. We do have several gold stocks in here. I've highlighted ABX, which I mentioned yesterday, continues to push up, well qualified with 28 green check marks, as you can see. Several other gold stocks in there, but I like ABX. There are a couple of consumer cyclical stocks, even though that's a weak sector. These are some standouts. So a brick and mortar stock that's still doing well is Tiffany's, as you can see, still moving up. And then Kate in the apparel manufacturing, which has been an extremely weak sector of the market or area of the market. Kate is the exception to the rule and still doing extremely well, as you can see, having moved up quite a bit, 10% just in the last couple of days. In healthcare, I still like CAH, Cardinal Health. And then in technology, I've highlighted several down here since this is a big sector, has been since the beginning of the year. Oracle, JBL, and Cisco, all still very well qualified. And then if we flip over to the, and just a reminder, you can always stop the video if you want to writing these things down for your own, to create your own list. So now we go over to this screen, which shows us the overbought, oversold, and what I'm doing right now is focusing on the oversold stocks. And first I'll review the ones that I mentioned yesterday. So the market's down a little bit, so some of these may not have been pushing up too much today. Let's see how they are. But as you can see, Cardinal Health, one of the ones that is moved back up to recent highs. JP Morgan still kind of consolidating in that area, but still well qualified as a long. ABT rebounded. Again, these were the oversold bulls from this watch list I mentioned yesterday. A couple of these are still kind of treading water here as the market is pushed a little bit lower. But now for today's list. In today's list, we look at yesterday's bull watch stocks. So I labeled this way. Today's date. So it's oversold stocks from yesterday's bull watch list. So I just to go through those. And again, there are a couple different criteria. It's not just the fact that you see Copic curve below the zero line here. That's one factor. Again, this is a 2-hour and then a 30-minute chart on the right. That's just one factor. There are other factors that also weigh in order to kind of sort through these. So these are pretty reliable. If you've been following this, these oversold stocks tend to rebound nicely, offering some nice short-term gains. Now, how you use this is up to you, of course. All right, so hopefully that review has been good. Hopefully you've enjoyed these videos. This is the last free video in the series this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you've been enjoying these this week, I'll give you a link to where you can access more material. Hope you have a great weekend. Monday is a holiday, President's Day here in the U.S. So hopefully you have a good day, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday.